Focused. Destroy Iranian offensive missiles, destroy Iranian missile production, destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons.
Yeah, first today, the U.S. and Israel's war with Iran has entered day 3. Israel has vowed more strikes on Lebanon as Jerusalem trades blows with Hezbollah. Now, the terror group said it attacked an Israeli base in response to the killing of Iran's supreme leader. The waves of violence have disrupted travel, shaken metropolitan areas, and resulted in the deaths of civilians and U.S. service members. Now, President Trump just wrapped up an address moments ago speaking to the nation about honoring the service members as well. We'll have much more on his address later on Fox 10 News today. But for right now, Lee Waldman reports from Washington, D.C.
In a rare briefing from the Pentagon Monday morning, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it.
In his first remarks since the U.S. and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury, a massive and coordinated missile attack on Iran. Secretary Hegseth claiming Iran has carried out attacks for decades in a one-sided war against America.
We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
Iran's national security chief posting on X that, quote, Iran did not start this war, and warning the country, quote, unlike the United States, has prepared itself for a long war. A war that has already seen several hundred people killed in Iran, according to the Red Crescent Society. 3 U.S. fighter jets were shot down by Kuwait in an apparent friendly fire incident, the U.S. says, and 4 U.S. troops based in Kuwait killed in Iran's response.
Sadly, there will likely be more.
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, cautioning the U.S. war against Iran will not consist of a single overnight operation and delivering a clear message to anyone who might threaten the U.S.
Understand clearly, we can reach you, we can sustain the fight, and we can scale the fight, and we will prevail.
With the Iranian supreme leader dead, questions remain as to who will lead the country. In Washington, D.C., I'm Lee Waldman.
And again, President Trump is currently addressing the nation right now as the U.S. continues to destroy Iran missile capabilities. We'll have his remarks later on Fox 10 News. In the meantime, often referred to as America's first line of defense against terrorism, the Department of Homeland Security remains unfunded as the Iran conflict escalates. On Friday, agency employees missed their first paycheck of a prolonged shutdown, with more to come this week if an agreement is not reached. Congressional Republicans now hoping the heightened threat from Iran will ramp up the pressure on Democrats. Democratic leadership says they've received a new counteroffer from the White House, which they are reviewing, but deep divisions remain, with immigration enforcement restrictions a key sticking point.
Who are Democrats siding with? Right? They are siding with our enemies. They are making us less safe. They are defunding Homeland Security, standing in the way of the president.
We believe immigration enforcement should be fair and just and humane. And until that changes, the DHS funding bill is not going to move forward.
And while negotiations are ongoing, the House is expected to vote on a new DHS funding bill at some point later this week. Meanwhile, 2 people are dead and 14 are wounded after a shooting in Austin, Texas. Police say Niaga Diagne started shooting out the window of his SUV before getting out and targeting people on the street. It took officers just under a minute to take down and kill the gunman. The FBI now investigating the shooting as a possible terrorist act. Now, the incident happened after the U.S. announced it carried out coordinated attacks on Iran. Sources say the shooter is wearing a hoodie with, quote, property of Allah written across the front and a shirt with the Iranian flag underneath. Officials searched this residence linked to the suspect and say they found an Iranian flag and photos of regime leaders. Politicians on both sides of the aisle are worried about attacks happening on U.S. soil.
I think we should be concerned about both the lone wolf attack, whether this is either a lone wolf attack or it's a sleeper cell.
Given that this regime has its back to the wall, they're going to use every tool they have. I'm concerned that they will activate sleeper cells in the United States, that they will carry out cyber attacks.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says they are going to respond aggressively to anyone who tries to use the current conflict in the Middle East to threaten the Lone Star State.
It's Monday and we've started off with very quiet weather here on the Gulf Coast. A few clouds over Baldwin County that we can see from some of our live cameras, a part of our Eastern Shore Toyota camera network. Take a look at it from Dolphins looking off towards the south and east. Some clouds off in the distance. Otherwise, it is blue sky. Abundant blue sky now at Orange Beach with a low risk of rip currents at the beaches. Your current temperature, if you're stepping out the door, really comfortable in the low 70s right now. We will be rolling up to the mid and possibly upper 70s later on here. 73 degrees in Mobile, Gulf Shores, 70 in Pensacola, 76 in Crestview, 68 in Destin, 75, 73, and 72 for Evergreen, Monroeville, and Grove Hill. This afternoon, you're going to have temperatures soaring all the way to around 80 degrees. 80 in Atmore, Bruton, 81 Calvert, Chatham, 77 degrees in Mobile, and 73 close to the coast, Fairhope, Gulf Shores, 72 Navarre. Your water temperature is a little cooler. That is moderating our coastal temperature, meaning you won't swing as much from the daytime to nighttime, and you'll be held down a little bit in the afternoons. Your overnight temperatures, again, moderate at the coast here. Temperatures near 60 degrees, Gulf Shores and Pensacola. Temperatures away from the coast in the middle 50s. Some fog potential overnight tonight. 55 degrees in Grove Hill, 54 in Monroeville. The fog potential does increase over the next 5 days. You see the dew points going up here. Muggy. We get close to in that category there in the long range forecast. Also, we do increase a little bit of a rain chance towards the end of the week. So you can see fog likely each morning with more moisture, higher chances later this week. Also a chance for scattered showers late this week. We're breaking it down with your rainfall forecast and much more in your full weather update coming up.
Nick, thank you. In our local headlines today, the search for the Chalk family enters another month. But the man who is accused of kidnapping the family was in court this morning, and a judge rules that this trial will go to a grand jury. The biggest piece of evidence presented was the blood in the house, confirmed to be Niyurka's, who was 17 at the time the family went missing. Now, this comes just days after new court filings revealed the suspect, originally identified as Juan Carlos Argueta Guerra, provided inaccurate biographical information when he was first arrested. The state has now filed a motion to amend the 3 first-degree kidnapping charges to reflect his actual name, which is Hector Gamaliel Argueta Guerra. Records show the 27-year-old has pleaded not guilty to the kidnapping charges. We'll keep you posted on this story. And in other news this morning, the trial of the man accused of killing Anaya Blanchard is expected to get underway today. This is the video of defendant Ibrahim Yazid walking into court this morning as jury selection got underway. 450 potential jurors have been summoned for this case, and they'll narrow that down to 40 before the final jury is selected. That process should take about a week. Yazid is charged with capital murder, kidnapping, and robbery. He was out on bond at the time of Blanchard's disappearance on several violent charges, prompting a change in state law years before this case went to trial. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty in this case. And today we are expecting more developments this week in 2 high-profile criminal cases. First, the woman accused of killing her 6-year-old child is due back in court today. This right here is 40-year-old April Oliva's new mugshot from the Santa Rosa County Jail on your screen. She faces murder charges in the death of her daughter, Valerie. And Santa Rosa County deputies found the child stabbed to death inside a home in Milton. The arrest report says the 6-year-old was stabbed 20 times. Investigators say a kitchen knife was found in the dining room, and April had self-inflicted cut wounds lying right next to her daughter. According to the report, Oliva called a relative around midnight last Tuesday talking about evil spirits. Right now, she is being held in jail on no bond. Well, coming up, spring break season is here, what some officials in Gulf Shores are preparing for. Plus, the Galvez boat ramp is closed for at least a week. We'll tell you the reason why after this. But first, let's check in with Nick on this sunny Monday.
Yeah, a sunny day, but if you're taking your afternoon cat nap, the forecast also looks good. Temperatures in the 70s. This is Kitty and Grilled Cheese, submitted by Jennifer Henson. Thank you so much for the photos. If you want to have your cat photos on the CatNat forecast. Do submit them on the Fox 10 weather app. We'll have much more coming up here on Fox 10 Midday after this.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday this morning. Boaters who normally use Galvez Landing will need to make some other plans this week. Fox 10's Stephen Moody has more on the temporary closure and where you can still get out on the water.
The Galvez Landing boat ramp is temporarily closed starting today for maintenance, and boaters spent the morning finding alternatives. That includes Charter Captain Gavin Nelson, who uses this ramp for work.
So I'm a charter captain and I use this ramp every day. I pick my customers up here and I drop them off here every day. So it'll definitely impact me this week while it's closed. I'll have to use another ramp and maybe figure out another place for my customers to park. Well, this is the first day of it, so we're trying to get the routine down right now. Last night we just called them and said, hey, we don't know exactly how it's going to work, but we'll figure it out in the morning.
While crews complete that work, residents can still launch their boats at several alternate locations across Escambia County. Those include the Mahogany Mill boat ramp, the Navy Point boat ramp, and the Perdido Bay boat ramp. Nelson says one of the closest options comes with a fee, which can create challenges for charter businesses and their customers.
The closest one is the state park, which you actually have to pay to get on. So for our business, having customers, things like that, it makes it a little awkward.
He also says boaters should make sure to check online for updates.
Well, it's obviously hard to tell. There's not anything, no big signs or anything like that down here. So if I didn't look online, I wouldn't know. So it's definitely good for people to check online.
Officials say the ramp should reopen next Monday, but that could change if weather delays the work. Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Good to know there. Spring break season is officially underway in Gulf Shores. Visitors are making their way back to the coast. The beach is filling up and souvenir shops are already seeing some steady foot traffic. With paid beach parking now in effect, lots filled quickly as spring breakers started to pour in. Now, Gulf Shores police say they're pushing for a few changes ahead of the big rush. Police are asking the city to adopt some new measures, including a stricter curfew for minors and a new criminal trespassing law targeting parking lot loitering. Some locals say they try to steer clear of the beach during spring break, while others lean in and enjoy all the energy.
I actually embrace it. I think, the more people that come and enjoy this area, the better it's going to be for everybody financially, as far as infrastructure and, revenue to the city. So I embrace it, long as everyone behaves.
Yeah, the city of Gulf Shores approved a strict ban on alcohol on all public beaches through April 28th. Police also say they're enforcing other safety measures to help ensure a family-friendly atmosphere as spring breakers arrive.
The beach looking lovely from our Eastern Shore Toyota camera network. We had some clouds just a few moments ago, really, down at the beach, but those have passed, and now it's so nice to see the lovely blue sky that we have out there. Great time for a walk along the beach. We say that because our forecast includes some very spring-like temperatures all the way up near 80 degrees over the next 7, 10, and maybe even 14 days. In the long-range forecast over the next 7 days here, you're going to see fog each morning, with the odds and coverage of fog increasing day by day towards the end of the week. Also later this week, we'll increase our rain chances. We'll have the possibility for a few scattered showers. Your beach forecast is becoming a focus here. Good news, a moderate risk of rip currents, which is not as rough as a high risk of rip currents. That is a forecast change from the outlook that was given yesterday. So a medium risk of rip currents for Tuesday and Wednesday. We still encourage you to keep a close eye on those beach flags and share that information with anybody who is coming to visit our local beaches. We want to make sure we're keeping everybody safe. Your forecast highs this afternoon around 80 degrees away from the coast, 80 in Grove Hill, 81 Chatham, 80 in Atmore, Bruton, Evergreen. Temperatures in the 70s close to the coast, 77 Mobile, 73 in Gulf Shores, Pensacola, 71 in Destin. Those water temperatures are a bit cool. Your futurecast does show mostly clear skies continuing through the day today. Then on Tuesday morning, mostly foggy conditions across the Fox 10 viewing area. Then Tuesday afternoon, partly cloudy skies, southerly flow, a very, very warm and a little more humid feeling spring-like for us in this forecast for our Tuesday. Then Wednesday morning, we start out with some more fog as well. Overnight lows tomorrow morning when we start dealing with that fog. We'll have those temperatures in the 50s, 55 degrees in Grove Hill, 54 Monroeville, 57 Mobile, 60 in Gulf Shores. Don't forget, lunar eclipse happens tomorrow morning right around daybreak. So before daybreak, keep your eyes out on the sky. Then, of course, looking ahead in the forecast, we need some rain. You can see the drought monitor shows dry conditions for our area. Rain chances do go up towards the end of the week. However, they're not exceptionally high. What's happening is the ridge of high pressure is sitting over us, so that's suppressing some of our thunderstorm chances. The active weather sitting just off to our west. Still, towards the end of the week, we will include a very slight chance of scattered rain showers. The heavier rainfall totals will be off to our west, where an active stream of flow will be going on around this ridge. And take a look at the next few days of severe weather outlooks. You can see a consistent threat area for the Midwest, all the way down to the Central Plains and Southern Plains. Really, tomorrow through Friday plus, they're going to be dealing with active weather. So what does that do for them? They're going to be dealing with weather to normal conditions here over the long range outlook. This is the Climate Prediction Center precipitation outlook. For us locally, again, we are mostly dry in the near term, partly cloudy skies and very warm temperatures with some scattered showers coming into the picture towards the end of the forecast. And again, potential for fog is there, especially later on this week in the morning.
Thanks, Nick. We also have a traffic alert to tell you about this morning if you use the Africatown Bridge. According to the Alabama Department of Transportation, the right westbound lane of the Africatown Bridge is closed right now for the time being. Officials say early yesterday morning, a crane being transported along the Mobile River struck a portion of the bridge. AlDOT crews inspected it and determined the damage is just in one specific area. The bridge, it says, remains safe for travel, and repair work is set to begin as soon as possible. And we also have a heads up if you're planning to visit Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi. The base has suspended its Trusted Traveler program. The change now means visitors without military ID can no longer enter the base with a sponsored clearance holder. Anyone who does not have a base pass must now stop at the Visitor Control Center to get one. All guests are reminded they must have a valid real ID to be allowed through those gates. Well, this is also breaking this morning. NAS Pensacola has closed its gates to the public today, and the following message was posted to the NAS Pensacola Facebook page just a couple of hours ago. It read, quote, "Both gates to the Naval Air Station, Pensacola, are currently closed. In addition, gates to NAS Pensacola's Corey Station Annex are closed as well. We are still pressing for answers as to what led to the closure, but when we find out, we will let you know right away on air and online at fox10tv.com. Stay with us for that story. 11:19 now, still to come. The Actor Awards are usually considered the preview of the Oscars. So who won big? We answer that right after this. Welcome back in on this Monday. The annual Actor Awards presented by SAG-AFTRA handed out top honors Sunday night in Los Angeles. The show honors 4 standout performances in film and television over the past year. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has your full recap.
Award season has made its stop here at the Actor Awards, where actors honor their fellow actors with, yes, the actor statue. Here are highlights from this year's show. It was a big night for Sinners and a show about making movies. The studio took Outstanding Ensemble in a Comedy Series. Seth Rogen won Male Actor, and the late Catherine O'Hara received Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Comedy Series. Accepting on her behalf, Rogen said O'Hara showed you can be a genius and be kind.
I've never been more proud of a group of people in my life.
In drama, The Pit took the ensemble trophy, Noah Wyle got the male actor kudos, and The Diplomats' Kerry Russell won female actor. I'm up on the marquees. The show was hosted for a third time by Kristen Bell.
It's a little weird to be getting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the half point of my career.
Harrison Ford was honored with the SAG-AFTRA Life Achievement Award. On the film side, Sinners won the top title of Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture. Per Variety, Ryan Coogler made history, becoming the first director of 2 Best Ensemble winners with this and Black Panther.
Mom, thank you.
Michael B. Jordan won Male Actor in a Leading Role, and among those he thanked, his date for the night, his mom.
Categorically changed by so many people in this room.
Hamnet's Jessie Buckley took Female Actor in a Leading Role, while supporting wins went to One Battle After Another, Sean Penn, and Aunt Gladys herself, Weapons star Amy Madigan. Wow! That's a wrap on the Actor Awards. Next stop, the Oscars. In Los Angeles, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, in case you missed it, Spider-Man co-stars Tom Holland and Zendaya are now married, according to the actress's stylist. La Roche says the 29-year-old Hollywood elites wed in secret. Now, those rumors began swirling after Zendaya was spotted with a gold band last month. It appears to have taken the place of a diamond ring, which she wore to the Golden Globes in 2025. Zendaya stars in Euphoria and Dune Part 2, while Holland plays Peter Parker in the recent Spider-Man movies. Zendaya and Holland did not immediately respond to a request for comment, but a huge congratulations to both of them, 2 of my favorites there. Well, 11:25 now, still to come, stocks react to the U.S. strikes against Iran. We're breaking that down. Plus, paying bills and paying off student loans can make anyone's bank account stretch pretty thin. This morning, we have some advice on what to do and make ends meet. But first, Nick, a beautiful day at the beach behind you.
Yes, we've actually had another batch of clouds roll in here, though, so it was sunny just literally a couple minutes ago. Now, this view is a little more overcast. Over the next few hours, you're going to see temperatures floating around 70 degrees. So if you're down at the beach, it is a nice time for that walk on the beach. Reminder about your beach flags here. An important reminder as we head into spring break season. We'll have more on your forecast coming up.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back. We are taking a look at your half-hour headlines on this Monday. First, our biggest one. The war in the Middle East is spiraling even further. Israel and the U.S. are pounding Iran. Tehran and its allies are hitting back against Israel, neighboring Gulf states, and targets critical to the world's production of oil and natural gas. Now, President Trump said just earlier this morning that the Iran operation is likely to last 4 to 5 weeks, but is prepared to go even longer if need be. Trump also stated an Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat to the Middle East, but also to the American people. Our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under that threat. We'll have much more on President Trump's address to our nation later on Fox 10 News today. In the meantime, South Carolina is honoring late civil rights activist Jesse Jackson Jr. Jackson's casket arrived by horse-drawn carriage to the South Carolina State House this morning. That video behind me here. Jackson will lie in state in the rotunda as the public gathers to pay their respects. Later this afternoon, a memorial tribute will be held at the Brooklyn Baptist Church. The state's honoring of the civil rights icon comes following requests from members of the state's General Assembly as well as the Jackson family. Jackson was 84 years old when he passed away. And finally, history made in NASCAR as Tyler Reddick becomes the first driver to win 3 straight races to begin the season. Reddick led the final 20 laps in the circuit of the America's race yesterday. He won the Daytona 500 and the Auto Trader 400 in Atlanta just last week. Reddick is a part of Michael Jordan's racing crew known as 23XI. Gulf Coast Bubba Wallace is also part of this racing team. And NASCAR heads to Phoenix, Arizona this Sunday for the Straight Talk Wireless 500. Something to look forward to there. Well, in the business world now, oil prices jump as traders react to fears of Iran supply disruptions on a busy week of economic data. Here's Fox's CJ Papa with today's Fox Business Briefs.
Stocks on Wall Street selling off. Barron says the attack on Iran has led to a worst-case scenario for the oil market, closure of the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil flows. A prolonged closure could send international prices over $100 a barrel. Though the strait isn't formally closed, insurers say they'll cancel policies for tankers going through it.
If this goes longer than 4 weeks, if the strait is shut down, that's where all of a sudden this will become more of a long-term issue. Right now, we think that it's a short-term spike.
Airlines and cruise stocks are among the worst hit. Carnival, Royal Caribbean, United Airlines, Delta, and American shares have been down. Missile strikes across the region are expected to disrupt travel, but Barron says the bigger concern is the rise in fuel prices for airlines and cruise companies. Meanwhile, investors bracing for a busy week of economic data. The February ADP report out Wednesday. Economists expecting 50,000 private sector jobs added. And all eyes on the February jobs report out on Friday. Economists expecting 55,000 jobs created, with the unemployment rate holding steady at 4.3%. CJ Papa, Fox News.
11:33 now, Eastern Shore Toyota Camera Network. This is the view from Daphne at the Hampton Inn. You see the Bayway looking fine this morning with no major issues to report. We have a few batches of clouds rolling across our region. We're keeping track of those with our camera network. You can see the view here down at Orange Beach, a few clouds, and there's some blue sky off in the distance. We've been watching those move through Baldwin County. Other views looking just fine. Mobile, planner over the next 10 hours. You're going to see temperatures here in the middle 70s and dropping into the lower 70s and 60s this evening. In Pensacola, similar numbers taking us up into the 70s, then 60s this evening. A couple of clouds around, winds out of the southeast, a nice forecast for us. This afternoon, temperatures soar all the way to near 80 degrees, 80 in Grove Hill, 81 Chatham, Calvert, 77 in Mobile, 73 in Gulf Shores, 73 in Pensacola, 77 and 78 for Milton and Crestview. Overnight tonight, we have temperatures in the 50s with temperatures slightly higher at the coast. The water temperatures being in the low 60s, that moderates our temperatures in the daytime and nighttime, meaning that coldest point is not as cold as it could be and that warmest point is not as warm as it could be. So holding those around 60 degrees there. One thing that we do have to note overnight tonight is the potential for some patchy fog development. A patchy dense fog cannot be ruled out. Our graph futurecast model showing you that potential there in the purple. That should dissipate by around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning and we'll be good. Also, a quick note for tomorrow morning. We do have that lunar eclipse happening and it will be peaking right around daybreak, around that 5 a.m., 6 a.m. hour. So keep an eye on the moon tomorrow morning if you are waking up early. Here's your futurecast, and overnight tonight to our Tuesday morning, we'll be dealing with fog, so that might limit our view there. But as we go into the afternoon, partly cloudy skies and no major issues to report. Maybe an isolated sprinkle, but we're keeping the rain chances near 0%. By Wednesday morning, more fog potential there, and the fog potential does increase as we go through the week. That's one of our top weather headlines here. So fog likely each morning with that potential increasing by the end of the week. It could be particularly dense in some locations. Also, later on this week, we're expecting the chance for some scattered rain showers. The rain chance is only around 20-30%. We'll take a look at that in the 7-day. But big deal. Spring-like temperatures. We're going to be soaring near 80 all the way through this forecast. Here we go with the next 7 days. You see the temperatures all the way up near 80 degrees. Some inland folks could get near 85 degrees. There are some parts of the deep south that will be up in the upper 80s by the end of this week into this weekend. So really warm stuff across the region. Why? We have a huge ridge of high pressure building in over the eastern United States. That's going to lead to our above average temperatures. Meanwhile, in the central part of the country, they're going to be dealing with wetter than normal conditions and extremely active weather and a bit of a severe weather setup repeatedly over really the next 5 days. So this region right here in this belt of southwesterly flow, that will be the one that we watch for active weather. That does not get to us until the following week. So it looks like this week is quiet. Then maybe past this weekend and into the following week, we could actually see some higher rainfall chances there. Here's your 7-day outlook. And again, I mentioned the rain chances going up very slightly towards the end of this forecast, around 20-30%. That is about the limit for it there, so not a very, very high rain chance, but the temperature staying warm all the way through the forecast. This is a nice, quiet, spring-like forecast for us over the next few days on the Gulf Coast.
All right, looks lovely there, Nick. Thank you. Well, the city of Foley is raising garbage collection rates starting next month. Your first trash can will cost $3.25 more, bringing it to $23 a month. A second can stays at $16, and the new rates kick in April 1st and will include weekly pickup of garbage, recycling, and yard debris. Businesses will also see higher costs for dumpster service. Well, Instagram is reportedly taking action, Meta officials say, to help teens stay safe. Our anchor, Sarah Wall, is taking a look at the social media company's plan, how it works, and why they say they are doing this. Also, there are some steps you need to take to have this new program work for your family. In Depth with Sarah Wall, new Instagram safety protocols can be found right now on the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app. You can join her conversation live every weekday starting at 9 a.m. Well, the U.S. Department of Education has delayed garnishing your check if you have defaulted on your loan, but many people are still battling to pay bills and pay off their degrees. Don G had a chance to speak with a student advocate who shares some tips to help you make ends meet.
There have been a number of changes made to the student loan system that have been very confusing to borrowers.
Jennifer Finetti is a college finance expert with Scholarship Owl, a personalized scholarship matching and management service tool. Finetti points out changes in White House administration, the COVID pandemic, and the dismantling of the U.S. Department of Education have most likely all played a part in the chaos. The latest confusion, the announcement that students with loans in default would face garnishment of their wages starting in January 2026. That quickly changed with news the garnishments would now be on hold again.
The garnishments that were being discussed and that are now on hold would be impacting borrowers that are in default on their loans, that are at least 270 days late in paying on their loans.
President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill plans to start many reforms on July 1st. One of those reforms, implementing major student loan repayment. Finetti believes it's possible those garnishments will also restart then.
If you are somebody who is in default or is late in making your payments on your loans, you need to contact your loan servicer to get your loan into positive status.
If you don't know who holds your student loan, be proactive. Head to studentaid.gov. That is the official U.S. Department of Education website for managing federal student aid.
There are typically two ways that you can get a defaulted loan back into positive status. The first way is by working with your loan servicer to make a reasonable and affordable monthly payment for 9 months straight, consecutively, on time.
If you talk to your loan holder and explain your circumstances, you may be able to agree on repayment options that satisfy both of you.
Another option to get your loan back into positive status is to consolidate your loans. Usually with that process, you need to make 3 on-time consecutive payments rather than 9.
Deciding not to pay the loan at all could mean financial self-destruction. Credit bureaus receive that information, which could affect your ability to buy a home, a car, or any other item on your list of dreams. The government can always come back to garnish your wages, tax refunds, or any other government payments.
You're actually hurting yourself because those debts will not go away. And in fact, it's very difficult to get student loan debt discharged during bankruptcy.
Well, it's 11:40 right now on your Monday. We have some breaking news to share with you today out of Mobile. Mobile police tell us they are investigating a shooting right now at Skipper Drive and Athey Road. They did not give any more details as of right now, but Fox 10 News does have a crew on scene to get more answers. We will keep you updated on this developing story. It is 11:41 now, and straight ahead, an electrical malfunction pauses an NBA basketball game. Plus, could a new deal merge 2 major subscription services? Nick and I will bring you your midday talkers on this Monday next. Back from extinction to the auction block, a famed set of dinosaur bones will soon go to the highest bidder.
It's Trey, the Triceratops skeleton, which for decades has been on display at a Wyoming museum.
The skeleton dates back more than 66 million years to the Cretaceous period.
It was discovered in 1993 near Lusk, Wyoming.
Yeah, the 17-foot-long bones had been on loan to the Wyoming Dinosaur Center until 2023. It was then privately sold and is now in Singapore, where it will be available for private viewings.
Online auction platform Jupiter will host the auction this month.
And get this, its pre-auction value is estimated to be between $4.5 and $5.5 million. So if you can afford it, head on over.
Pretty reasonable.
Right? Listen, for a Triceratops skeleton, I would say so.
That is pretty cool.
What a great name,
cool. Yes.
Trey. I love it. Very simple. Well, the Detroit Pistons and Cleveland Cavaliers had to deal with a very noisy disruption during the Pistons' 122-119 overtime win Friday at Little Caesars Arena.
Wow. Okay. During a timeout with the Pistons up 65-64, the horn sounded to signal that the team should return to play.
But the horn blared for 13 straight minutes, delaying the game.
Then the horn blared after a power surge, caused the overhead scoreboard to malfunction.
The horn finally shut off, though, when the arena staff shut down the overhead scoreboard and the crowd cheered.
Sometimes if it's not working, power it off, start it again. You're good.
Listen, sometimes technical issues happen.
Yeah.
We see them every day.
That would be annoying. I wonder how loud that was for all the folks in there.
And to everybody that stayed, great fans there.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, 2 streaming services could soon be joining forces
if regulators approve Paramount Skydance's acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery. Paramount Plus and HBO Max will be combined.
Together, the services would have about 200 million subscribers.
Last week, Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery said that they struck a deal to sell Warner after Netflix backed out of the bidding war.
Yeah, Paramount has not said, though, how much a combined service would cost or what it would be called. Do you use HBO Max?
I use both of these, and both of these are my top my top users.
Okay, so depending on how much this would cost, would you use it?
Yes, because these two have shows that I know I watch, and I need them.
I've heard a lot of positive things about those streaming services. I have a lot of friends on them. I don't use them personally, but may have to get on it. So some updates there. Well, 2 music movies and the latest entry in a beloved horror franchise made their mark on the weekend box office.
David Daniel has the early estimates for the top 5 films in theaters.
There's been a lot written and a lot said, but never from my side of the story.
The documentary Epic Elvis Presley in Concert brought in $3.5 million for 5th place.
That part never gets old. Pulling up to a venue and seeing people going to the show.
The concert film 21 Pilots, More Than We Ever Imagined took 4th place, earning $4.3 million in fewer than 800 theaters.
Heathcliff. You're not enough. Not for her.
Wuthering Heights fell to 3rd place on $7 million in ticket sales.
All my life, I've always wanted to play professional warball.
GOAT lost the top spot but made $12 million for 2nd place and a domestic total of $74 million.
If you hurt her, I'm not going to hurt her until you're here to see it.
Scream 7 slashed its way to a $64.1 million debut, the best opening in the franchise's 30-year history. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
This is showing me that I need to get to the movie theaters.
There's a lot of stuff coming out.
It's been a while. I didn't realize.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff coming out, and it's really consistently good. Not just now this week, but really through a long period.
Yeah,
so
fun
good stuff
year
to see.
Look forward to.
All right, let's go outside right now with our Eastern Shore Toyota Camera Network. This is a live view from Dauphin Island at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab. And calm winds, a few clouds off in the distance, a nice view. I'll have that satellite picture coming up in just a second. Also, your full forecast. Stay with us.
Listen to this. A still full 150-year-old bottle of booze is found buried in a Utah ghost town. So archaeologists and local distillers teamed up to taste test the mystery spirit inside. Jeremy Roth has this story in today's Take a Look at This.
Archaeologists got a literal taste of the past when they used tools and tech to sample a 150-year-old mystery spirit inside a bottle unearthed from a buried mining town in Utah. According to the Utah State Historic Preservation Office, the bygone-era bottle of booze was one of thousands of artifacts unearthed during a construction project turned major excavation in the historic ghost town of Alta. Other found items include a leather mining hat, bullets, shot glasses, a 16-pound dumbbell, and much more. But it was the mystery bottle, still corked and dated to between 1870 and 1890, that proved most intriguing, and archaeologists teamed up with a local distillery using a needle to extract the vintage spirit so they could sample it. The question is, how did it taste?
Dried fruit notes. There's a little bit of vinegar to it, but surprisingly, I think it had held up after being in a bottle under the ground for 150 years.
Officials suspect it may have been some sort of sherry or beer and plan further tests to try and pin down this boozy blast from the past. Speaking of the past, Customs and Border Protection officials got a taste of the Bronze Age, not literally this time, when they intercepted an illegal shipment containing dozens of copper alloy short swords and arrowheads. A local archaeologist found they date back some 4,000 years. KYW reports the treasure trove was seized at the Philadelphia International Airport, is suspected to have been looted from burial sites in the Middle East, and may have been destined for sale on the black market. But now CBP says officers will safeguard the antiquities until next steps can be determined.
The truth is there's no value because they're illegal. When you loot cultural heritage out of the ground and take it away, you destroy the history of those nations.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Wow, I wonder how old those are. Interesting.
Crazy stories there. Yeah. Final forecast here before we wrap this up on midday. Get ready for Fox 10 Live. By the way, quick hint, I think we're doing Fox 10 Live outside.
Yes, we are.
On the jet deck, because it is going to be such a nice afternoon for us. We do have some clouds over Baldwin County, Escambia County, Florida, Escambia County, Alabama, northern Santa Rosa, northern Okaloosa counties right now. Otherwise, it is mainly sunny for our area. We'll zoom in and look at some of these clouds. So these are just your normal puffy cumulus clouds. Really not expecting rain showers out there today. Rain chances near 0% for us. Looking down closer to the coast, we had a batch of more overcast conditions roll across some of our coastal communities in between Gulf Shores and Pensacola about an hour ago or so, and we talked about that on Studio 10. But now those clouds are breaking up, and now your more fair weather skies, you can call it, with temperatures going up this afternoon. Your Eastern Shore Toyota Camera Network showing you the views. This is 73 degrees at Orange Beach, 71 in Mobile, 72 in D'Iberville, Mississippi. Looking off towards Biloxi, there's some awesome pictures in that Dolphins camera down the corner at Dolphins in downtown Mobile. You can actually see some of the clouds off in the distance, so that's really cool to see. All right, forecast highs this afternoon. We're all the way up around 80 degrees in our inland spots. Remember, water temperatures at the coast are in the low 60s-ish. So that puts us at a more moderated temperature at the coast. That'll be in the 70s. 73 degrees in Gulf Shores, 75 Pensacola, 72 Navarre, 71 in Destin. The long-range outlook, though, everybody's going to be dealing with warm temperatures. In Mobile, we could get to around 80 degrees as our official observation. That does get close to records, but does not really break it to record territory there. I will mention that some folks across some parts of the Deep South, like central Alabama, northern Alabama, will be getting up into the middle and upper 80s later this week. A ridge of high pressure in place. For us locally, rain chances stay low in the near term, near zero. Then they start to go up just a bit. A little more moisture. The ridge gets slightly less strong. The ridge would reduce thunderstorm or shower activity. So when it's less strong, we incorporate that chance there. 20, 30%, those numbers might go up. We really want them to go up because we are so dry out there and we do need some rain showers. What happens is towards the end of the week, this is almost a late spring summer pattern that develops there. So spring break weather?
Hey. Yes, I say yes, for sure. We're in a new month. We want to thank you for joining us here on Fox 10 Midday. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. We will see you outside for Fox 10 Live at 3 p.m. We're taking a live look at the beach.